Well, hello peeps. Today we got a little bit of a different video than usual. We'll be talking about the incoming 10.1 DH changes, and we'll have a soul shuffle at 2.2k rating in the background. The first 3 rounds I played like a machine, and then I kind of start to falter, also combined with some, uncoordination that's very normal to the soul shuffle environment. I also have to inform you that only 4.3% of you are subscribed, so if you have been enjoying the content, do consider smashing that subscribe button. And without further ado, we shall first go over the changes regarding the overall PvP changes that are happening. And of course, all CCs are getting reduced by 1 second. This is in line, of course, with all the other classes, including interrupts as well. Even though this is supposed to mimic the current boots embellishment, it's more of a nerf. But again, in line with most classes. This will be felt to a degree, definitely, and I think, especially when you're trying to stun somebody for a kill, single target stun for some kill pressure. So I feel like that's the most where you're gonna feel kind of that you need a teammate who has a bigger stun, which honestly I think are right now only rogues and paladins who have like a 5-second stun. So hopefully, hopefully, you will definitely feel it. Unfortunately. Blood Moon PvP talent is also getting redesigned. I have been running it in some BGs, but definitely now you will have a lot more incentive to use it. And maybe, even in 3 versus 3 versus Resto Druid or something. One thing that's in line with kind of the overall changes, but it's kind of bothersome for us, is that Fodder of the Flame is getting nerfed. Since we will be having 25% more HP, a lot of the heals based on percentage health are actually getting nerfed. And flagged heals are actually getting buffed, a minimum of usually 25% to kind of make up for that difference. Basically, we got a healing nerf by the virtue that almost every other class had their healing buffed. I know they're trying to go away from Leech as a healing mechanic, but right now I feel like we're, kind of a weird defensive spot with our passive defenses. So definitely I'm kind of worried, as far as our passive defenses are considered. Here we were able to just grind down the Warlock and get him. I think in that round I was doing a pretty good job at like chaining my CC and doing... I just hate Mugambala. I feel like it's so terrible to have this in Soul Shuffle. I feel like some maps like these should not be allowed in Soul Shuffle. But that's my personal opinion, I guess. Phalanx is also getting buffed. That's like a spell you can cast when you fly up. Honestly, it was really mech to use. Other than versus melee cleaves, it's like a pseudo defensive. Hopefully this brings it back to its former glory, as you used to pretty much, you could actually use this to do a decent amount of damage, jump up, especially if you had like haste modifiers and stuff. You could do a decent amount of damage with this. So hopefully this kind of makes it an ability at least the enemy has to kind of play around, you know what I mean. I also wonder if like it's increased by mastery, because I don't know, I feel like with mastery increasing it should be doing a lot more damage, but I guess that's something to be tested. I-beam is getting buffed. This is related to the crit changes, but also actually important for our force set and for the ways that we might actually start to kind of play in the future here. Now we have kind of finished the changes that are connected to the general changes coming in 10.1, the changes that are happening basically to all classes. And we can kind of look at the changes that are happening specifically to DH. First, let's look at the tier set. 2 set gives you every 175 fury spent, a seating fury buff, which gives you 8% agility for 6 seconds. 4 set, each time you gain seating fury, you get 15 fury and 15% damage on your next I-beam, stacking 5 times. To say that I was a huge fan of the tier set would be a lie. It's probably one of the worst. I think, I think it's probably not the worst, but it's on like the worst side. The first part of it, the 2 set, how would you say, the 2 set is just basically a copy paste from the old 4 set. Is just a stacking modifier. It's who cares, it's agility instead of flat damage, okay, but like that doesn't really like change much. They could have just kept it as like flat damage as well. So I don't know, maybe it's gonna be better in PvP because how the gladiator distinction is gonna be giving a bunch of main stat now instead of health, which is gonna be having health kind of baseline. So I don't know, honestly, how that's gonna, how you say, turn out. Forset is also kind of meh, but at least it gives, how you say, at least you can see that they are going for a playstyle with the Forset. You know, they're trying to make the middle of the talent tree a lot more attractive to pick up, and we might revert to something like the build we ran at the start of the expansion, where we still go for Essence Break, but we don't take the talents associated with initiative and such. We also might be actually just leaving Essence Break behind, because crit is getting nerfed, so knowing your enemy talent is also just not as good anymore. So it's kind of three talents that might be kind of weaker than before. So we might actually be changing builds. I still am not sure if we need to kind of have some testing happen, of course. But I feel like this will depend highly on the amount of haste that we will be able to run. It will not maybe do as much burst damage, but will definitely feel better to get CC'd on your I-beam window, since you can work on getting it back earlier, and you can also increase the duration of metamorphosis. Last but not least, in the slightest, are the changes coming to Glaive. These are the latest changes for DH, that I think as of right now. Serrated Glaive will actually become a really good talent, and they finally fixed the issue with Soul Rent. This is something that I've talked numerous times before about, how basically you did more damage to your off targets than your main target. So finally we'll be doing more damage to the main target. On the other hand, we are losing some of our overall AoE, if I understand how it works correctly. I hope that the damage thing resets upon the second blade being cast, because right now your second blade actually ramps up the damage even higher, as it gains the stacks from the first blade. You can really see that they want us to play more of an I-beam related build, so we actually will be probably swapping to either a build that we ran at the beginning of the expansion, or to kind of a build that doesn't have Essence Break at all. Right now I would say that as far as fixing our single target damage, it's been good changes. Unfortunately, our survivability is definitely something to be worried about, as we got no healing buffs as of right now. Even though I still think there is a lot Blizzard needs to, you know, kind of work on the current DH talent tree, we still are forced, you know, into taking certain talents and stuff, and go certain builds. At least, you know, we are getting some kind of spice. Now we can just kind of commentate on the match, and I feel like this round is gonna be so close. Unfortunately, I think healer gets feared, and the retribution. One thing that annoyed me was the retribution started typing here like, "Oh my god, bro, let's go," whatever he wrote. I don't know, but like he had Sanctuary, Blessing of Sanctuary. I don't know if he used it. I didn't check throughout the games, but it's kind of the mentality of the retribution paladins in this kind of I guess rating. Here we're going for Warlock. It's kind of the, I guess, the better target is actually Paladin, and I think I will be swapping to the Paladin, but unfortunately me and the Fury Warrior will kind of be mismatched. Sometimes we'll be fighting Paladin, sometimes we'll be fighting Warlock, and it's, yeah, we're kind of not gonna be doing the best job. Here I was just making sure that I was doing damage as I was like going up the stairs. Here I'm gonna make a huge mistake. I actually somehow target, I top targeted and I hit, and oh, so sad actually that I hit the Holy Paladin, so we could have probably ended the game right there. Like I said, here I started to kind of tilt, kind of play worse. I must say, like lately it's really hard to get Soul Shuffle queues, so I'm just like waiting 40 minutes some days, and I'm not gaming that much, so like I have 2 hours to game, you know, and like 40 of that I'm waiting and doing some, you know, stuff around, so I'm just not like try-harding it, you know, giving it my 100%, like sitting down and doing a Soul Shuffle session. So unfortunately this kind of happens if you're not too serious. I just start to kind of, I guess, falter is the best way to explain it. Here I'm just kiting away from the damage. I don't know why the priest BS's me, as I'm kind of, as I literally kite away. Here I'm thinking we just go Paladin because no bubbles anymore. And we're just kind of... But the Fury wants to go for Warlock and play the jumpy game. Here I kind of made a mistake, honestly. Probably I should have stayed up. Here I pop my Darkness. Priest again uses PS. Oh my god. Okay, maybe this wasn't as much my fault as I thought originally, because it's like both those PSs were basically useless there. And last game was kind of Paladin's fault actually, so might have been not my bad here. Here I decided to just pumpy the Paladin. I think is a better target because the Warlock can just do the rope-a-dope basically every time that he's in trouble, and the Paladin can't do shit anymore. Like, the Paladin used all his cooldowns, so why not just finish up the Paladin? We have enough damage. We should have enough damage. We can CC and do stuff to the Warlock, but unfortunately just at this point we get grinded down, and I feel like I think that loss has to do with the PSs from the Priest. And ironically, I'm not even like trying to throw shade, but both of those PSs were completely useless in that match, and if we had probably one useful PS usage, we probably win that match. Just we lost pressure. Here, just I get kind of like, I guess, rope-a-doped a little bit. Just chilling, going here for, I think we want to go for Warrior. I would say Warrior is the better, a little bit easier target to focus down. We could also potentially go for the Retribution, and Retribution would be also a good target just because then Retribution cannot save the Warrior or do much for the Warrior. Actually, yeah, upon thinking about it, Retribution right now, kind of as it sits right now, probably could have been the better target, but it is what it is. We're actually doing pretty good pressure. Here is something I hate again about this map. They can cast from above, but if you have to basically jump to cast an ability to somebody who's like above it. Kind of cringe. Like, they can heal from above the healers without me having to like do some parkour to CC them. Here I'm going back, just trying to focus with the Warrior, even though, yeah, we get bubble here. Nice. I don't know, I'm just jumping around, not taking any damage, so it's, I guess, good. Got bubble. Here, this Darkness was troll. That was troll by me. I should have not kind of, I guess, tossed it out there. I should have waited for us to get more stacked up and stuff. So I would just say that Darkness could have actually been game changing a little bit later. Like right now, we are in a very tough spot, and if I had like Darkness to use, like I'm gonna stun here, but if I had like if I could follow up something, yeah, actually I stun late. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things YouTubers want you to do, and have a nice day.